comfortable racing with them on the course?
Yeah, they seem pretty far back.
Right. That's right.
We'll just scream at them as we go by.
Right. This is a race I'm most looking forward to. So make it interesting. Now you guys can go on. Go.
Howdy everybody, welcome to the final Wheeler Crit of the season. So the series is has kind of shaken out to where Jack Jarko on my right and now in front of me, and Caleb Korf now passing me are the two leaders of the series. They're only a few points apart, Caleb leading by a couple points. So theoretically, Jack could still beat him and take over the lead, but it would take Caleb finishing in a worse position than he's ever finished while Jack still wins in order to do that. So it's a tall order, but pretty much half of the race is here in a neighborhood bicycle kit working for Jack. So you never know what's going to happen. A few weeks ago there was a crash and both of them caught up in it, so you never know. Anyways, I've got my wife here and I've been trying to record a voiceover for this for like a week now, and I haven't liked anything I'm doing, so I'm just going to let her ask me questions about what's going on in the race, and then I'm going to try my best to answer them. So here we go, but first I got to open up my Miller Lite because it's Miller time.
Well, what's happening right now? Who's in front of you? Directly in front of you? Oh.
Well, right now Paul Dawson is in front of me with his Halloween socks on because it's spooky season. So right now, I believe right off the bat, Jason Waddell and Micah Newell went off the front, but then that got brought back, and now there's another group of 4 off the front, and I think Matt Estes from Bike Lab is on the front, chasing him back down. But this is kind of how the first part of the race. Oh yeah, you guys are on the side of it. It's kind of how the first part of this race went. People would attack, and then it'd get brought back.
Like you're very close to that person that was on your side.
Yeah, we were pretty close, but we race crits, so
I know.
That's just kind of
makes me nervous.
What it's like.
Which is why I do not race crits.
There's a lot of reasons you don't race crits.
That is very true. Is that like what I just saw when you turned the corner? Is that the front, or are there people like up ahead?
No, I think I think somebody just got pulled back, and that's why we were so strung out. Okay, so right here's a very important part. You can see Jason Engelke. He doesn't really attack. He just kind of rolls off the front and almost immediately opens up a gigantic gap.
Oh, wow.
And he just like takes off. And theoretically right now, Caleb or one of the Celestial guys should be chasing him down, but they don't seem too interested in chasing him down. I don't know if that's just because Caleb is content with letting somebody else win the race, so long as he doesn't ruin his chances at winning the series, or if he just doesn't have the legs to chase and the other guys on his team, or Michael Gathers and Paul Dawson have are needing a break. But whatever the case, Dustin here gets on the front and starts pulling, even though Jason is off the front. And he's not pulling super hard, but he's still keeping us moving. And he pulls for an entire lap.
Is that a lot?
I mean, it's not a crazy amount. But right here, this part gets me. So you can see Emerson in the bike lab kit goes up to the front. And what race does Emerson typically race in? The fast one. And he wins it. And that makes me mad because it's not his race. So I go up to the front here and I literally like motion and shoo him off the front and tell him this isn't his race. But now I've found myself on the front and I just ticked somebody else off the front. And so I'm like, well, I guess I have to pull here.
Was Emerson like offended?
Oh, I don't know. He just dropped back. But right here, people start attacking because I start looking back like I want somebody else to pull. And when that happens, people start attacking. And because I just pulled, I don't necessarily have the legs to follow that move. So I'm just kind of hoping people fill in the gap here and I can just sit in. But really, nobody else comes around, and so I'm back like here trying to bridge this gap, and I'm just like doing this pain dangle off the back of off of this little move.
So are these guys the very front?
No, Jason is still off the front.
Okay.
Jason is still way off the front, like you can't even see him. And another couple guys come across, and again, I can't follow them, so I'm just still going. Which I needed somebody else to come around me and just pull, but that's not how it works. And I couldn't miss Emerson again, still in the mix.
What he knows to do.
So now finally people are starting to fill in the gap between me and the front, and it starts to fan out, and so we're all back together, and I'm thankful for that because I was about to explode. Got any more questions?
Not at the moment. It is interesting like watching your videos because whenever you pass by us, like I just see you for like a second.
So those attacks happened and the pace went up quite a bit, and now you can see Jason is just a little ways ahead. So it's looking like we're actually going to catch him. And I think Paul is on the front, spending all of his bullets trying to reel him back in, which he does right here. So way to go, Paul. Way to stitch that up for us.
It is also interesting hearing like who's off the front because usually I'm like by myself watching you, and so I like lose track. And so sometimes when somebody goes by, I'm like, I don't know if they're like getting lapped or if these are the people that are off the front. Because I don't know people like you know people, so.
So I think right now we are getting down to like, I think maybe we're at 2 laps to go, and we're about to see we're about to hear the bell for the final lap, if I remember correctly. So that's Peter Erdos that just dropped back. He finished his pull off the front, or on the front for Jack, and now Micah Newell is doing his final lap pull to keep the pace super high. And these two guys, or this guy in the red right here, starts to fall off, and we just got the bell lap, and now there's a gap, and I don't think I can close it, but I also don't want to let the group go, so I go around here, and then Harry goes around me, and I think Matt Estes goes around me, and I'm just in survival mode at this point, but I really want to beat Harry, because he's the guy that a couple years ago at a cross race didn't out-sprint me at the race, but then the officials gave him the win anyways, and I'm still real bitter about that, so I want to beat him. But I'm also feeling very, very tired right now. And luckily they kind of fan out because they realize they can't jump across to the group. So that allows me to kind of get back on. So we come around this final corner, and I'm like, I'm beating Harry. I'm gonna beat him. And he sits up, and then he sits back down, and I'm like, this is perfect. I'm gonna open up my sprint. He's clearly done. And then he outsprints me anyways.
And that's the end.
And that's the end. And I think that Caleb ended up winning the race because I think he just outsprinted Jack. So he won the series and he won the race. But it was a very fun series, and it was all a blast.
Yeah.
And it's all made better when you get to see your wife and your baby boy at the end of the race.